Hello BFST class, you're welcome to another unit, and this time we are going to concentrate on employee motivation. Well, a motivated employee is that employee that shows a high level of energy, commitment, and then persistence and creativity in doing their jobs. So employee motivation brings about better engagement and productivity. However, motivation is very intangible and difficult to measure. Though we can create, and as managers, we can create an enabling environment to make sure that people feel motivated or feel committed, or to create an environment that will increase on an employee's commitment and creativity while performing their tasks. There are two types of motivation. We have what we call intrinsic motivation and then extrinsic. So intrinsic motivation comes from within an individual. So someone desires to do their best regardless of the work environment or the outcomes. So this is always deeply rooted on an individual's beliefs, maybe integrity, but not the outside environment that they work in. And this is, I think, the most important kind of motivation to have in an employee. Then the other one is extrinsic motivation, which is usually driven by external factors such as rewards, that is salary, recognition. So most people are enticed to work by these external um, factors that are provided at a work environment. For example, a better pay, um, getting bonuses, getting awards, perks, and so on. Though we need to be careful at the extent, as a manager, the extent at which you externally motivate your employees. So we should always aim for that internal or intrinsic motivation. However, we as employees, our eyes are always on the extrinsic. So as a manager, what are some of the ways of motivating employees? Number one, we can do what we call motivational surveys. So here you can use an online software or any tool to find out, to get feedback from your employees. So once you get feedback, you get their ideas and suggestions. You're able to identify areas that need attention. Then the other way of motivating employees is carrying out employment satisfaction surveys. So here you basically concentrate on the our employees' view on the work environment. Are they satisfied? Are they okay? So once you do that, still you identify areas of attention. Then the other way of motivating your employees is recognizing a job well done. Just imagine when you outperform yourself and someone doesn't even seem to notice. So when you realize someone has done, please, a thank you is enough. Then focus on intrinsic rewards, focusing on building people's integrity, the inward motivation. Then autonomy, but not being bureaucratic. So autonomy is giving people the powers to make decisions, not having to go through or having to do things the way you want them to do. At the end of the day, you should look at the outcome of this employee. So employees should not be micromanaged. The other way is creating an amazing work environment, making sure people have drinking water, uh, prioritizing workers' safety, and so on, so people will feel motivated to work. Then be a visionary. You should be a leader with vision. People should know that their efforts are driving to something important, not just working. So there they will be motivated in also taking part to make sure you reach the same goal. Then when you solicit ideas and suggestions, act on them. Don't call for meetings, ask for people's suggestions and then just leave them there. Let them feel uh, considered at the end of the day. Then career pathing, help your people grow. Mm? Provide flexibility, give them the allowance to perform tasks the way they feel they can perform best. If someone is more comfortable, something doesn't need to come to office. If someone is more comfortable working from home, at the end of the day, you're looking at the outcome, not how someone has to do something. So, what is the importance of motivation? Or what advantages do you yield, you as a manager, from a motivated employee? So these people handle uncertainties better because they are more involved, they are more engaged in what they are doing. Then they are better problem solvers. Once you're into something 100%, even when a problem comes, you look for a way out. They are more innovative and creative. They are proactive. Hmm? They are more productive. They understand the company's goals better and they work towards achieving them, as well as they also work towards achieving their own goals. They are more customer centered than unmotivated employees. When someone is motivated, they will stay with the company longer. They are more adaptable and open to changes because they feel appreciated. They are more team players. They have a good impact on others. Maybe when someone is happy, when a colleague asks them how they feel, they can also motivate them. They are brand ambassadors. For example, I would take an example of UCU. So when your workers go out there, what do they talk about? The organization or the institution. Are they well paid? You know, uh, uh, is the place clean? So once your employees are motivated, you will have good ambassadors out there. So that leads us to Herzberg's motivation theory, and this is a two-factor theory which looks at factors to which an organization can adjust to influence the levels of motivation at a workplace. So these factors are the motivating factors and then the hygiene factors. So the hygiene factors look at so these are the motivating factors that encourage employees to work harder, while hygiene factors, they facilitate or do not discourage employees from doing their best. So they facilitate workers to do their best while at work. So under each classification of factors, I listed some factors. As for example, what are the motivating factors? Recognition, when someone does something and they are recognized maybe by a reward or a thank you. Then growth, if there is hope for promotion, achievements, then the work itself, is it interesting? Responsibility, are they given responsibility when you delegate to them? Do they feel fully responsible? While the hygiene factors are, for example, security, if it is a lab, do people feel secure? If it is working at night, do they have enough security? So once the security is there, someone will be encouraged to work. Then the company policies. As you come up with policies guiding your work environment, are they favorable to your employees? The salary, is it up to the market standard? Are people happy with their take-home pay? Then the work conditions. Then you, the manager, are you a good person? So those are the hygiene factors. So these help facilitate the working process, while these motivate. So from that, we learn for statistics. that are involved or things you look at as an employee uh, when we look at both hygiene and motivating factors. So the first one is high hygiene and high motivation. So this is what every employee would yearn for. So here employees are highly motivated and they have, if the grievances are there, they are very few. Then the other is high hygiene and low motivation. So in this situation, workers may have very few grievances, but they're not highly motivated. So for example, workers are paid well, but then the work is not interesting or there is no security at work. At the end of the month, you know the pay is there, but then you don't feel the push or the motivation to come to work. The other one is low hygiene and high motivation. So here employees are highly motivated. For example, the pay is good, it comes on time. But sorry, here for this case, that the work environment basically is what we look at. So for example, employees might be happy with the work environment, but then at the end of the day, the pay is either too little or it does not come. So there is security, there is hygiene, breakfast is there, but at the end of the month, they're not certain on the pay. That is just an example. Then we have low hygiene and low motivation. This is the worst. So people are not motivated. And then these other factors that would facilitate them to work are also not in place. So how do we use this theory in practice? So first and foremost, electrify and change the bureaucratic company policies. So make sure that your policies are in line with what the market offer, and then ensure that you are a manager, you are meant and not just a boss. So employees also want to be respected and supported. And then the organization culture plays a crucial role. You as an organization, what do you stand for? What are your values? Then make sure the compensation is as per market standards. If it is the end of year package, if it is study leave, if it is the pay itself, it should be in line with, or it shouldn't vary from what other markets or other competitors in the same industry offer. Then increase job satisfaction that will make jobs uh, more interesting and meaningful. And then delegate to your employees responsibilities. So here you make them feel relevant and valued. So thank you so much. This is all I had for you. Please stay safe.